Welcome back again. What are we doing today? Something that's all the rage in Excel land, it appears, a habit tracker. I'm going to make one from scratch, a blank Excel sheet. I'll show you how to do it. And if you don't want to do it, you can just buy it. I'm going to have several in hopefully your favorite color on my website, excelobstaclecourse.com. If you need to cover hotkeys, make sure to go back to my Start Here video, but I'm not going to be really reviewing a whole lot of the shortcuts that I'm using as I go along. Just some transparency before we get started. So what is a habit tracker and why would you use one? I personally don't use one, but again, a lot of people are making these. So what I'm going to do is ask CoPilot, what is a habit tracker and why would you use one? It's a tool, digital or physical, helps you monitor and maintain consistency in your daily, weekly, or monthly habits. A visual way to track whether you're sticking to the behaviors you want to change or build. Gives you accountability, clarity, consistency, motivation, self-awareness, and goal achievement. Oftentimes people track exercise, water intake, sleep. You get the picture. Let's go ahead and list 100 habits that we can choose from. List 100 habits that I can put in my Excel habit tracker. There we go. We got emojis and everything. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over to Excel and paste. And it gives me the emojis and everything. And it's listed it with an index. I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go Control Spacebar and then Alt BE. And then delimited. And we're going to go Alt O to Other. Type a period and hit Enter a couple more times to get rid of that index. It's actually taken the habits and separate the number from the actual habits, which is what I want. So I want to put my own priority numbers here. I don't want that. Now it looks like it did some weird things too to some of these. They had example. All right, so it looks like if I just go here, concat, this should fix it all. Yep. Essentially, it's, if you want to look at this, it's taken even the blank rows and concatenated it with the prior. So now I won't have the index, but I'll get rid of the goofy stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is Control Spacebar, Control C, go back here, Control Shift V to paste special, well, I got to highlight the entire column, Control Spacebar, Control Shift V, paste special values. And I'm going to get rid of that. And there we go. We have a nice list here. Just going to adjust the columns there so there's nothing cut off. So I like how that looks. I'm going to start with this. Shift F11. Let's get to what we would do for our speed run. First thing I'd like to do is put a month. So we have today. This is going to default to whatever day you're in. This is today, 10/9 of 2025. So it's going to put the date. And when you open it up tomorrow, it's going to have 10/10. But I don't want the date, I want the month. So I'm going to right click with my right click button programmed up here, format, Alt C, go to the bottom there, and then go over to type and do all M's, M. Hit enter, and it's spelled out the word October for us. If you had another date like 9/1/2025, gives you September, but we're going to deal with October. So that's where we're going to start. And then what I want to do is put 12 habits. So what I'm going to do is type a 1, hold down Shift, and then hit page down, and then Alt HFIS. Gives me the series. If I tab over, I can decide how many numbers I want to series out. That's a word. Let's say I want to do 12. I'm going to type a 12 and stop value. See step value and stop value. And it just ignores these blank spaces down here and just fills to that point. But if you don't highlight down far enough, it's going to cut it off. So that's why I did the extra spaces. So these are the habits. Let's make some space here. Habits. And then let's do one for days. So again, type a 1. Shift Alt page down to go over, and we need to go 31, so that's past Z, I know that. Alt HFIS again, we're going to step it from 1 to 31. There we go. Control spacebar, Alt HOI. And you see there we have our days. I'll put days there. And we'll make this better looking. Don't worry about that. This is just the meat of the operation here. So what habits are we going to choose? This would be our index, and I'm going to go XLOOKUP. I'm going to look up a 1. I'm going to go over here. And this will be what I want to prioritize. I'm going to put it in column C. I have to remember to make a header afterwards. Comma, I want to return the habits. And then I could just type enter. XLOOKUP only takes 3 arguments and the minimum. And it says NA. Why does it say NA? Because we don't have numbers over here. So let's say that I want to read a book, limit social media. Come on, that's what I do. 2 for positive affirmation. No complaining. How's that? That's good. Definitely put an exercise. No sugar. How do you do no sugar? I like to walk. Avoid processed foods. Declutter. That's not bad. And I go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now when I go over to the other sheet, it'll have those listed. Actually, I have to copy this down. There we go. So you don't want to retype things here. What you want to do is get however many priorities you want. You can continue to list them, and you have to drag this formula down. But, you know, let's say read a book is no longer my number 1. Of course, that's going to be NA until I put number 1 somewhere else. I'm going to put meditate as number 1. Let's say that I don't want exercise there. I want it number 2, no complaining number 3. So I'm just going to type a 3. This will be out of order. Put the word priority right here. So there you go. It put exercise above no complaining, even though they are in a different order on this list. So I think that's pretty neat and unique. I don't know of any habit tracker that does it this way, but you can also type in your own on this sheet. So we don't like grid lines, so Alt WVG to get rid of grid lines, but we do want grid lines in this. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate here and do Alt HBA for all. And these little boxes will be my habits. I don't like how they're irregular though, so I'm going to make it HOW, let's say 5 width. Maybe not. Maybe 4 width. That's a little bit better. Let's zoom out. And I want all this to be centered. Alt HAC. This looks better. Alt HAR, actually. HAL, sorry. Make that bold, make that bold. Make this bigger. Say 20 font. There we go. I think it's obvious that these are days. I'm going to put actually right here, habits / days. And I could put an X. I think that's kind of ugly. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to do some conditional formatting. So Alt HL, go to new rule, and then use a formula. Oops. And the formula, I want it to be equals len for length. If it's any length of character, if it's blank, no formatting. If it has a period, HYZ 9240 #, it's going to have the condition applied to it. So here we go. I want that, but I don't want to lock it because I want to apply it to all these boxes. So I'm going to hit F4 twice, 3 times, sorry. So then I'm going to close the parentheses and put greater than 0. And the next step is to go down here, Alt F, and we want to go over to fill, go to the color we want to make it. And I think what I'll do is make these different colors for folks. I like blue, so light blue. The little tab. The speedrun is going to be hard, I'll tell you that. So hit OK, and then look, it's not filled in, but if I type something, it's filled in. Isn't that great? Although it does look kind of stupid like that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of being able to see any characters at all. So let's go to format and change our formatting to 3 semicolons. Disappeared. Now you can see it up here in the ribbon, but essentially there's nothing there visibly. So I'm going to copy this and then paste all these boxes. And look, we have all blue, which we don't want. I'm going to delete it. And the formatting stays. So pretty neat, huh? Sure looks a lot more attractive than X's. And what we want to do is say if on day 1 we get 100%, let's write a formula for that. I'm going to put count A. That means we're going to count it if there's something in it. There's nothing in it. I'm going to put X there. So let's just say we did 1 out of 12. So we want to divide this by rows and then highlight the number of rows, which is going to be 12. So 1 divided by 12 is, maybe that's not showing because we formatted that one too. So let me go down here all the way, right click, F for format, Alt C, and it's got a weird format to it, I think. I'm just going to go general. There we go. There's 80%, but we also want to copy over the formula. So there we go. We have 0%. That's how it probably should look. So if you type several X's, it's still doing 8%. You get to that magical 100%. It's number signs. Let's change the width again. 4.5. There we go. So that's the gist of that. And if I go ahead and delete all these, it doesn't matter. The formatting stays. We can delete the contents, that's fine. So then I'm going to copy this formula over here and I'm going to change it. I want this to be columns. And instead of the reference error, I want to jump out of the formula and highlight that. And jump back into the formula, go to value 1, which I can't see for some reason. Not sure why I did that. So F2 again, and highlight the same range. That means that you're not only tracking each day, but a habit across the entire month. So this will really get you guys in ship shape. I'll use it too. I'll participate. So there we go. We've got our percentages set up. Not too shabby. So what else do we want to do with this habit tracker? Let's change the font to something more attractive. So I'm going to highlight everything, Control A, Alt H, F, F, and let's see what we can use here that looks better. And everybody always argues over fonts. I don't have like a big hang up on fonts. I guess I just don't like Times New Roman. You know what I have been using is, what's it called? Century Gothic, that's it. Of course, if you buy something like this, I am, just disclaimer guys, I'm not going to restrict a bunch of stuff. So if you buy it, save it somewhere as a blank, then save it somewhere else as, right? So you can come back to the blank one in case you need to start fresh. A lot of people like to lock, you know, restrictions and things like that so the spreadsheets don't get messed up. I would rather have the freedom, personally. So as a responsible Excel user, I went ahead and saved a copy of this, and then I saved another copy so I can mess with it and mess it all up, because I'm going to delete this bad boy. And how do we delete a sheet? Alt-E-L. Permanently delete this sheet. Yeah. Bye. It's gone. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to not type priority there, but I will get my special timer back up. So got the timer right there, and I think it's Control B. Yep, Control B. And then I'm just going to keep track in Notepad of my progress. So let's do habit tracker speedrun number 1. All right, so we have our habits there. Let's go. So guys, you haven't seen this, but I've had a problem where Control B for some reason is, I mean, I don't think I'm making anything bold, but I need to do Control Shift B to start and stop the timer because I'm halfway through the thing and it resets the timer. It's very annoying. So anyway, I think I got the problem fixed. So again, let's go to Alt, EL, Enter, delete that, and start our speedrun. Here we go. Got today, and we got, promise I'll get better at this. Type, there we go, we got October, we want to do all, okay, HFIS, we want to do 12 habits, oops. Okay, I was doing the increments by 12, but you don't do that. So then, of course, we want this down one. We want habit/day. And then over here, we'll do 1. HFIS again. Tab 31. Goes to 31. It stops. That's great. Everything should be centered. Alt-HAC. Get rid of grid lines. Alt-WVG. There we go. Actually make a grid, so to do that the best, I think we're going to do that, Alt-HBA. Make these a certain width, Alt-HOW, make them 5, it's a good round number. Take these habits, put over here, we'll type priority, and then I'm going to paste. Well, I can't paste because I typed. Eliminates the clipboard. Equal X lookup. We're going to look up that number over here. We're going to return a habit. That's all that takes. Hit HOI to make that a certain width. Okay, so then we're going to do Alt HL, new rule, H down over here, and then we want is equals len 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's only 3 greater than 0. And then how we're gonna format that. We're gonna format it with blue. There we go. Should be all set. So when you type something, it does that, but we don't want it to be an X. Go back over here. That's the best way to do that. And do some formatting. F. Format cells. We want to do category, type 3 semicolons, blank that out. All right, now we're cooking. Count A of those divided by rows of those. And we want it to be a percentage. There we go. Learning shortcuts already to this. I'm going to type that there and change the ref and that formula to columns. Jump out of that, go over there, hit enter because this is driving me crazy with, if you saw before what that does. There we go. Let's do some tests. Beautiful. And some just formatting. We'll do this accent 4. Like I said, I like the dark background with the white font. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the timer at 4 minutes. And I think I'm going to change the font as part of the speedrun. But for the most part, 4 minutes kind of slow. Let's record it anyway. 4.03. Let's get better, and let's not call it a speed on. It's a speed run. All right, so at least we got through it without the timer breaking. Reset the timer. Alt, EL, enter. Get rid of that to reset, basically. So let's do it again. See if we can beat 4 minutes. If we're starting, Shift F11. Zoom in a little bit. We're going to do today. And we're going to change that format to custom, October, and then we got 1, 2, Alt HIS. Stop at 12. This will be habit, day, and this goes over here. Alt HFIS. Stop at 31. Got that. Alt WVG, get rid of grid lines. Alt HAC, get rid of that. Scoot that over 1. Scoot that over 1. Take these, and we got our habits listed here. We're going to do this. Priority. Do our XLOOKUP here, over here. Boom, boom. Adjust. Computer enhance. HOW5. And then let's do our grid lines, Alt HBA. And then we're just going to do Alt HL, new rule. Go to this. We're going to do equals len, and that 1, 2, 3. Is it greater than 0 or not? Format, color, enter. Okay. Got it. All right. Just paste all that, delete it. Works fine for the conditional. Now we're going to write our formula for completion equals count A. Divided by, oops, close the parentheses, divided by rows, percentage, thank you. Copy over, paste that there, columns, jump out, there we go, got that. I have to enter so I can see what I'm doing. Jump out, oh, help, okay. Yeah, I do need help. Credit Excel help F1 tab. So these aren't working. Why? Rows. Count A divided by rows. It should work. So let me do this over because this is weird. Count A. Speedrun doesn't count unless I get it right. Accuracy is paramount. Okay, rows. Okay, now it works. There we go. Leave that the way it is. Do some formatting, make it pretty. And let's stop it there at 3 minutes, 59 seconds. Yeah, getting this time down is going to be kind of hard. I'm up to it. So here we got 3:59.07. We improved by 4 whole seconds. Oh well. I'll still take it. Reset that, reset that. Reset the clock. All right, let's do it again. Start the timer, Shift F11, zoom in. I'm going to put today, and then I'm going to make that formatted, and I wonder if I can put in date. I wonder if it's, yeah, that's no good. Oh well. Let's do one of these, MMM. And then list our habits. 1, Alt HFIS, 12. That's what I forgot. Habit day. FIS is so handy. 31. Center those, and then Alt HOW 5. And let's see, Alt WVG, get rid of those. Do our X lookup. Look ahead and do. So I'll take these, list them over here. Type priorities. Copy that down. HLI to adjust. Do Alt HBA, make that a grid. So then we have Alt HL. It's the tough part. New rule. Format cells when it's equal len 1, 2, 3 greater than 0. Format it. Okay, color. Do green this time. Hate that. It's one of the older screens, I think, and it kind of assumes that you, I don't know what it does. I'm not going to try to describe it in the middle of a speed run. All right, count A divided by rows. Okay, that works. Make that percentage. Columns. All right, jump out, go over here, do that, jump back in, delete F2. Oh my gosh. I know why you guys like remove the F1 from your keyboard now. All right, this is working just fine. Okay, so let's center everything. Let's go Alt. That's good. I'm gonna call it done. I think it's good. Other than the fact it doesn't match. You got blue and green, so unless you're like a Seahawks fan or something. Not a bad speed run, guys. See what our friend in TikTok actually got for his speed run. So dude gets it in 2:19:14. When I say dude, I mean lifestyle banker on TikTok. Props to you for coming up with that idea. So let's record our 3:31 and also put our world record for lifestyle banker. Now we do a different style of habit tracker, but I think I want to get it to be around what he had. So 2:19. We'll just call it a flat 2:19. So we'll do some more runs. Make it happen. All right, this is Sparta. Let's do it. Shift up to 11. Zoom in. Say today. And then format that to custom. All M's, 4 M's for October. And then I'm going to do 1, Alt HFIS, 12, 12 habits, and then over here, I'm going to start our days. Alt FIS, tab 31. Center everything. We go on grid lines. And we're going to call this habit. Okay. Take this, put it over here. Just arbitrary habits for now. Priority. Priority. All right, do our X lookup. Let's look up this over here. Boom. Boom. Center. Okay, so then we have these columns. I want to make them 5. I also want to make these a grid, HBA. Then I want to do Alt HL, new rule. That was a time waste. All right. Format equal len 3. Okay. Greater than 0. Format. All right, here we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right. So copy, paste, delete, and then go count A divided by rows. This one's slightly different. We want this to be columns. Test it. Looks good. Got that. Boom, done. 255. We're getting closer. Just got to shave off 40 seconds or so. More than 40 seconds. Check my arithmetic, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a functioning habit tracker, and I think it's pretty neat. So 255, we did a little better this time, a lot better actually. We shaved, in the way we're shaving minutes off. I mean, I hope to get it to where I can get at the world record 219 and make it look at least as good as the other guy. Start the timer, shift F11, make a new tab, zoom in a little bit. Today is going to be a great day because we are formatting as a custom type MMMM for October, and then we're going to do 1. We're going to do 12 habits, Alt HFIS, tab over, do 12. Then we're going to do days, start with a 1, Alt HFIS, 231. Highlight everything to BBG. We're going to highlight everything again. HAC to center it. Move this down. Move this over. Copy it over, sorry. And these would be our priority habits. So X lookup, that. Look up our priorities, look up the actual habit, get it over here, center it. There we go. And then make this a grid. Alt HBA. Make it HOW5. There we go. Do our conditional formatting. New rule. Oops. Format equal len. We want this to be greater than 0. We're going to format it to look like, there we go, blue. Nice. All right, so any character does that. Now we want to copy the formatting down and over. So we can do that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll keep it like that. So count A. divided by rows. Make that a percentage. I think this is a time waster. I'm just going to rewrite the formula. Count A columns. What the heck is going on? And speaking of time wasters, what is going on? That was bad, guys. That's embarrassing. Can't you tell by my voice how embarrassed I am? Ah. Okay, that works fine. And I'm missing something. Okay, the formatting. Darn it. All semicolons. There we go. Much better, guys. Okay. Then we do the... I'm just going to... Guys, until I get better. 325. 5 seconds. But I had some real bad mess-ups in there. Oh, wow. No, that's not 5 seconds. That's like a whole minute. No bueno. Okay, start the timer. Shift F11. We're going to type today. We're going to make that a name. All M's. Okay. Zoom in. Get rid of grid lines. Go down here. All HFIS. Go over to 12. 12. Okay. And then 1. Alt HFIS. Alt HFIS. 31. Let's make that 5 width. Everything gets centered. And this is a grid now. So we want Alt HBA. And we want to do our lookup. So we're going to, type, we're just going to prioritize over here. Priority. With a little thing after it. Okay, so X lookup. Go back over here. Now we have our thingies, habits. Alt HL, new rule. Keep doing that. Equals len. 23 greater than 0. Format, color. Okay, so that works. All right. Okay, then we're gonna, I'll just start here, right there. Count A. Divided by columns. This might be easier, actually. It's a percentage, and yes, it works. That's great. You know, let's just do a bunch of refs. Rows. Well, and F2's messing me up. Okay, there we go. Boom, it works. Great. Let's do some nice formatting here. Format, category, custom, T, all semicolons. Dang it. 310. How did I get that 255? Okay, 7th run. Let's do better. Okay, start the timer, Shift F11, zoom in. Okay, today, got that. We want it to be custom, MMMM. And we want our habits, Alt HFIS, go 12. We got this, Alt HFIS, 31. No grid lines. Center everything. Oh my dear goodness. All right. Harder than it looks. Alt HBA to do that. So descriptive. 5 width, and then take this, put it over here for our prioritized habits. X lookup, look that up over here. Got it. Make that fit. And then we got Alt HL, do some conditional formatting, new rule. Let's do equal when. 1, 2, 3, greater than 0. Format, we want it to be blue. Okay, so there we got that. Let's copy that down. While we're in there, we can format it. Custom again, all 3 semicolons. Got that. So now we got to go count A. Close it, divided by rows. Make that a percentage. Copy it over. I'm just going to do it again. Close columns. Gosh. So bad, guys. God, it's so bad, man. Yeah, I'll go to 0, that's fine. Okay. Anyway, 3, 10, 80. 7th run. Let's do better. Start the timer, Shift F11 today. Format that as MMMM, so we have October. Then we got 1, Alt HFIS, stop at 12, go over here, Alt HFIS, 31, stop there. Let's go HAC to center everything. And then I want to make a grid here, so Alt HBA, get rid of all the other grid lines, and then copy this over to get what we want to return here for priority. And we're going to do XLOOKUP, look that up over here. Just for columns, I want that to be 5. All right. Alt HL, new rule. Format equal when. Greater than 0. format. What do we want it to look like? We want it to be a color. There we go. So putting an X does that. And we'll just start here. Actually, we had everything highlighted. This is the point at which we want to format. Type. Here we go. Count A divided by columns. I don't know why it's invisible. Okay, that works. We got our formatting. I'm going to make it like this so we can get it done. Okay, 3:02. You know, if it's just going to be 3 minutes, because this is different than the other habit tracker that the guy makes, so I might just be happy with 3 minutes. All right, let's do it. Shift F11, make a new tab, zoom in. I'm going to do equals today. And we're going to change the formatting on that just a bit. We're going to make it MMMM for October. Do 1 all the way down. Alt HFIS. We do 12 habits today. 1. Alt HFIS. Go to 31. Make that centered. Make it 5. Move this down 1. Put a border in these and do, oops, sorry. We're going to take these, put them over here for our prioritized habits. Let's put habits. XLOOKUP. Look that up over here. I want the number to return the word. Alt HOI. Alt WVG. Get rid of grid lines because they're ugly. Now I want to just type in a conditional format, new rule. I want it based on a formula that says equal len, open parentheses, greater than 0, and then format, color, okay, worked. Format again, category, type, all semicolons. Excuse me. And we got count A divided by rows. That's a percentage. We have count A, columns, divided by column. Oops. Columns. Okay. Yep. Columns has to be multiple. Does the formula work? Yes, it does. Okay. So we got this. Gonna make it like that. This, gonna make it like that, and then we're gonna stop the timer. Because look, it's 2:35:40. I think that's pretty darn good for a functioning habit tracker. And it's close to the record. There we go, 2:35:40. A new record for me. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I could see people using this. I could see myself using this. That's what it's all about, folks. Log my time and everything. We're on 10. I think we get a lot better if we do 10 more of these. I'm up to it if you guys are. I'll try to cut out as much fluff as possible so this doesn't look like just a crazy long video. But, you know, if people are into watching this, people used to watch my live for hours, believe it or not. But let's just keep going. I'm having too much fun. Shift F11, zoom in. We're going to do equals today. I'm going to make this a different format. I'm going to go to custom and do MMMM to do October. Now I'm going to do type of 1, take that down, HFIS, stop at 12. Over here, we're going to do days of the month, Alt HFIS, 31, Alt HAC, center those, Alt HOW, we'll do 5 for width. Then we'll do Alt HBA to put grid lines in there and then remove all the other grid lines. And then we'll take these, put them over here for our priority habits. And then we're going to do an XLOOKUP. And we're going to look up the number over here. And it's going to return our words for us. There we go. Making it dynamic. I want all this to be centered. So I'll do that. Then I will do, okay, we'll just go to 1, Alt HL, conditional formatting, new rule. Go all the way down, oops. And then we're going to do equal LAN, 1, 2, 3, greater than 0. Format, what do we want to do? We want to make this blue. Got it. So then when there's an X, it shows. Also format these because we don't want to look at them. So I'm going to go type 3 semicolons. So they're there, but they're not. Okay. Count A, counting the non-blank cells, divided by rows, gives us the percent that we've completed. Froze up, man. Copy that over and do this. Whatever. Count A. Oh, man. Divided by columns. That's rough, man. Alt HJ for that. We're done. 253. Okay. I mean, I just got to keep running it. It's too much fun for me. This is fun, guys. All right, start the timer. Shift F11. Zoom in. Equals today. I want to change that to a different format. I want it to be MMMM for October. 1. I'll type it here. 1. Going all the way down. HFIS. Do 12 habits. 1. Alt HFIS. 31. 4 days of the week. Alt HOW. Make those a width of 5. I make everything centered. We're going to get rid of grid lines. We're going to go and do a grid here, Alt HBA. Then I'm going to take our priorities, move them over here. Call this habits. And we're going to do an XLOOKUP. We're going to look up the number over here and return the word. Get that nice and centered. And then what are we going to do? We're going to go here. We're going to do Alt HL, conditional formatting, N for new rule. Go to the bottom, format equals LEN. Open parentheses, go here, 1, 2, 3. Close the parentheses, greater than 0. Length greater than 0. I want it to be a color. Okay, there we go. We'll do that. There we go. There we go. Saying that a lot, aren't I? All right, so now I'm going to format these to appear as nothing. 3 semicolons does that. So there's something there, but there's not. Count A. Count these divided by rows. Make that a percentage. Copy over. And I'm just going to do it again. Count A. Close columns. I don't know why they're not appearing, but whatever. Oh, we're getting real close to the record here. $227. We're getting there. Oh man. Let's make sure it functions really. Cool. 227.83, a new record. Is it? Yes, it is. New record. Let's keep going. Start the timer. Shift F11. Zoom in. Equals today. I'm going to do format, category, type, all M's. 4 M's, actually, for October. Going to do our list our habits. HFIS. Stop at 12. Going to do our days. Alt HFIS, tab 31. We want these to be a width of 5. We want everything to be centered. We want grid lines to be gone. We want to Alt HBA for an actual grid. And take these, put them over here, make these our prioritize. My prioritize, what the heck? All right, X lookup, we're gonna look up this number. We're gonna go over here and return the word. Got that going for us, which is nice. Alt HL, new rule for formatting conditionally. We want a formula LEN. Okay, 2, 3, greater than 0. We want to format it. Color, blue. Got it. All right, sweet. Okay, then we're going to format these guys to be type 3 semicolons. That way they disappear. They're there, but they're not. Like I said, count A. Count that, close parentheses, rows. Make that a percent. Copy over. And we have count A again. Close that. Columns. Alt HJ for determine formatting. There we go. We made it, guys. We broke the record, 216. And I tried to do my best at explaining everything, which I know is annoying, but I got to make shorter videos of this long video. Yeah, everything functions. Pretty sweet. All right, so we got 216.54. Let's keep going. Let's see how much we can trim it down and then maybe do some more formatting. Like I would like to do this. Oops, 24. Make that big. And maybe mess with the font. Century Gothic. There we go. So, I mean, I think that looks a lot better to do, to do that rather than have, just a basic one. But my goal is speed and accuracy, functionality, right? The formatting stuff can be done afterwards. Okay, start the timer, shift F11, new sheet, zoom in, equals today, whatever today is, but I want to change the formatting to MMM for month. Type a 1, go down here, Alt HFIS, to go 12 for 12 habits, 1, go all the way out here, Alt HFIS, type 31, all the way out there. Gonna make these a width of 5. Everything I want centered. I don't want grid lines except for here. I want it Alt HBA. There we go. Take these numbers, put them over here because we want to list what habits we want to look up. And we're going to do an X lookup. X lookup the number, go over here, and return a word. Alt HOI. And then here, Alt HL. New rule. We're going to do a formula equals len for length. I want it to show greater than 0. Format, color, we want it to be blue if there is a length greater than 0, meaning anything in the cell. I'll just fill all those and change this format to be all semicolons, 3 semicolons. That way it's there, but it's not. Count A. Close that, and we're going to do rows, and that gives us the percentage that is blue or not. Okay, and then we'll write this formula again. Divided by columns this time. There we go, beautiful. It's invisible, and now it appears. So does this work? Yes, it works. Do a little bit of formatting, Alt HJ for the presets. Alt HJ. Boom, 216. Yeah. Look, it even works. Not a new record, but still darn good. See how much better we can get. We can get in the ones. Under 2 minutes? Come on. That's insane. So insane that I just love it. Start the timer. Shift F11. Zoom in. Equals today. I'm going to change that format to MMMM for month. Go 1. Alt HFIS. Tab 12 for 12 habits. 1. Alt HFIS. Tab 31 for 31 days. Alt HOW type of 5 to get it 5 width. Alt HAC to center everything. Alt WVG, get rid of grid lines. And then we're going to highlight these. Alt HBA to put grid lines there where we want them. I'm going to take these habits. I'm going to put them over here for what we want to prioritize. Habits. Then I'm going to do an X lookup to make this dynamic. So then I'm going to return a word for each of the habits. I'm going to center it, and then Alt HL, new rule for conditional formatting. We're going to type equals len. So if a cell is a length greater than 0, it's going to be formatted. If not, it's not going to be. Make it blue. All right, so there we go. We got an X and we got a blue. But I don't want to see an X, so let's get rid of that. Format again. Go to type 3 semicolons. So it's there, but it's not. Count A. Divided by rows. Make it a percent. Equals count A. Divided by columns. Here we go. Hey, I think that worked. It did. All right, so then this, Alt HJ, make that predetermined themed cell styles, and we're done. We have a fully working habit tracker. Check this formula out though. Oops. F2. Yeah, that's right. Cool. 2:23:34. All right, 5 more runs. This isn't really that long, is it? I don't think so. All right, start the timer. Shift F11. Zoom in. Equals today. I'm going to format that so it is a month word. MMMM. There we go. 1. Alt HFIS. Tab 12. 12 habits. 1. Alt HIF. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, sorry. Alt HOW. 5 width. Want everything to be centered. We don't want grid lines, but we do want grid lines here. Alt HBA. Take these, put them over here. What habits do we want to track? Habits. X lookup. Look up the number over here. Return the word. Got that. And some conditional formatting. Alt HL. R. And mess that up. Okay. Format equals len. So any length greater than 0. We want it to be blue. Get rid of the color. There we go. Works. Populate all these. Do another format. 3 semicolons gets rid of it, so it disappears. Equals count A to count the non-blanks. Rows to count just the rows. And we get a percent that's filled in, which is 100 at this time. Same thing here. Columns. All right, formatting time, Alt HJ, make that, Alt HJ, do that, and then we're done. 2:22. That's awesome improvement from 4 minutes. If I worked in a habit tracker factory, I would be the king. We all know those don't exist. All right, reset the timer. Go again. Shift F11, make a new sheet, zoom in. Today, okay. Format, I want it to be the word, MMMM, October. 1, go down, Alt HFIS, stop at 12, 12 habits. Alt HFIS, stop at 31 for 31 days, make these columns 5. Make everything centered. Get rid of grid lines, Alt WVG, and then put Alt HBA here, and then do some conditional formatting, new rule N, go down here. Formula we're using is equals len. So anything of any length in a cell greater than 0 is going to be formatted. I want it to be blue, so I'm going over to the blue. There we go. So I type of X, it becomes blue, but I don't want to see a bunch of ugly X's. So what I'm going to do is format this again and make a custom type, semicolon, 3 semicolons. It's there, but it's not. Equals count A. How many occupied row or cells are there? And then how many rows are there here? To get me a percentage that's filled in. Same over here, but with columns. Columns. Okay. There we go. Does it work? Works. Yep. So it's lookup. Got that. We're gonna look this up our stuff here. Oh man. We're going to put what we want to prioritize. All right, there we go. Alt HOI. This gets a accent 1. This gets this one, and we're done. Not very descriptive. It's harder than it looks to describe it. Same time, do it. All right. 220. Let's go run 17. Start the timer. Shift F11. Make a new sheet. Zoom in. Equals today. Reformat that. I want it to be MMMM. Just display the month. Okay, here we go. Alt H FIS for a series. 12 habits. Okay, we want to do days of the week. Alt H FIS. Stop 31. Make these width of 5. Make everything centered. Get rid of grid lines. Alt HBA for borders here. Take these, put them over here to prioritize what habits we want. Then we're going to do XLOOKUP. Look up the numbers, return the words of the habits we want. Alt HOI, adjust. I'm going to go here, Alt HL for conditional formatting, new rule. I'm going to go down here, format equals len. So the length of anything greater than 0, I want to be formatted as blue. So I'm going to go to color. Got that. All right, so we got an X here. I don't want it to be an X though, I want it to be blank. So I'm going to go down here and type 3 semicolon. So it's there, but it's not. So when I do count A, it's going to think it's occupied. Rows. All right, so that shows the percentage it's filled, 100% at this time. 92 if one of them's blank. Okay, same over here. Count A, counts occupied cells, columns. There's the percentage, and do some formatting here. Use the predetermined formats, Alt HJ, and we're done. 212. New record, 2:12:24. That was a good run. If I do say so myself. Okay, Alt EL, delete that, and we're done. Okay. Start the timer, Shift F11, zoom in, equals today, but I want to show the month name. So go over here to type, MMMM. Here we go, 1. I'll go Alt HFIS, tab 12, 12 habits, 1. Alt HFI, okay, 30. That's 31 days. I want a width of 5. I want everything to be centered. I don't want grid lines. Alt HBA for that. I'm going to do, oops, I'm going to take these, put them over here to see what habits we want to prioritize, and then go back over here, do a XLOOKUP, look up the number, return the word. Okay. Alt HL conditional formatting. Let's try that again. Alt HL. And for new rule, I want to write a formula equals length of an occupied cell. If it's greater than 0, I want it to be formatted. So, what color do I want it to be? I'll pick blue. It's my favorite. Pick blue again. So we have an X, it turns blue. If it's empty, it is nothing. So change this to type 3 semicolons. It's occupied, but it looks blank. Count A, how many of these are occupied, divided by rows. percentage completed. 100% because they're all blue. Delete one, and the percent changes. Equals count A. Count number of occupied cells, and then columns with the same number. Copy that down, and then make that percentage. Go to our Alt-HJ to the predetermined formatting. And we're done. 220. I think I had a mess up in there with the conditional formatting. All right, 2 more. Time to come in the clutch. Shatter that record. Okay, start the timer. Shift F11. Zoom in. Today. I want that to show the name of the month. So type MMMM. Okay, we got this. Alt-HFIS for series. 12 habits total. 1 through 31. Alt-HFIS for the days of the month. I'm going to change the width to 5. I'm going to do Alt-HAC to center. I'm going to make grid lines here. Alt-HBA. I'm going to eliminate all the other grid lines there. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to put them over here to prioritize certain habits. And I'm going to do an XLOOKUP to look up the number and return the word. Alt-HOI, auto adjust. Now time for conditional formattings. Alt-HL, N for new rule. Go to the bottom. Format. I'm writing formula. LEN for length of string. So it needs to be greater than 0 to format that as blue. Okay. So you type an X and it's blue. Empty, it's not blue. All right, so we'll change the formatting here again because I don't want to see X's. We got 3 semicolons. You can basically type whatever you want. Count A, is it occupied or not? Count the number. Rows, count the total number of rows blank or not. Give me a percentage. Up here, same thing, count A. Divided by columns. Gives us the same thing. There we go. So a little bit of formatting here. Alt-HJ, Alt-HJ. Done. Does it work? Yes, it does. Look, put it in your habits. You can put in whatever character you want. And it's going to track. Did you get it all in one day, or did you get it all every day of the month? Okay, last run, number 20. Let's make it count. Okay, start the timer, shift up to 11. We're going to zoom in, and we're going to do equals today. It's October, but I want to see the word October. So how do I do that? Go to custom, MMMM. There we go. So 1, I want 12 habits, Alt-HFIS, tab 12, and 1. Scoot over here, Alt. Scoot over some more. Alt-HFIS, tab over. Okay, we've got 31. I want to put these in a width of 5. I want everything to be centered. Alt-HAC. I want this to be an actual grid. Alt-HBA. Alt-WVG. Get rid of all those grid lines. Then we want to take these numbers, put them over here. Call this habits. And we need this to correspond to words. So what we're going to do is an XLOOKUP of the number over here, return the word, and there we go. Here we're going to do some conditional formatting, new rule, write a formula LEN, length of the cell. If it's greater than 0, I want it formatted. And I want it to be blue. Got it. All right, so if there's an X or any character, it's going to be blue. And I don't want to see ugly X's, so I'm going to go over here. Category, I want type. 3 semicolons. It's there, but it's not. It's invisible. Count A, occupied cells. How many do we have? Rows divided by rows, number of rows, occupied or not. It's 100 because they're all blue, which is our goal with habit tracking. Okay, count A, I want to count all those, divided by columns, because it's the same thing. And do a little bit of light formatting, Alt HJ, go that, Alt HJ, go that, and 221. Not bad. Check the functionality. This works. Okay, guys, I think that's it for the day. This was a long video. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And don't forget to go to my store if you want this tracker. I'm going to put it in many different colors. I'm going to format it better so it looks nicer. So thanks for hanging in. Thanks for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.